ding ding wiggy diggy diggy bing diggy diggy ding bing jiggy jogo jogo wing diggy daggy diggy ding dogo wiggy biggy bing bogo wagga wagga bing bing jogo jogo wing wing diggy diggy bom dom laga ding ding flicky flicky bing bing wagga wagga bing bing boggy biggy wing dang jiggy jiggy jing chong jiggy jiggy bing bing paka bing pong piggy wiggy. Ring ding biggy diggy ding ding bogo dogo dong dong jaga jing jing boko wing wing baga wing biggy bom bom baga ling ling jiggy dong dong laga ding ding bing jaga bom daba ding ding daba ding ding bogo waga wang biggy ding dong dong jiggy jang. Oh waggy diggy ding dong ding daga ding ding toko tiki ding bing boko bing pling bigga laga ding dong biggy wing baga wing biggy jing jong baga fling ding diggy wang ding.
What's up, peeps? I've had a monster of a sleep. I've been out for so freaking long, but I just couldn't seem to drag myself away. You know, I woke up hours ago at a reasonable time, made a cup of coffee, drank it, and then just fell straight back to sleep. So that really just proves how effective coffee really is. Not very, really. Anyway, saying that, I've got myself another brew. Now, hang on, the Steez. Oh, Jesus. So, I'm a hot mess, but you know what? It's Sunday. It's the best and the worst of all the days. Now, I don't see myself doing much today. Really. Because it's already 3 p.m. I've only just got up. And I'm not feeling good. I mean, I am and I'm not, but I just woke up with, like, instantly memories of and just thoughts and fantasies and dreams that I was having. Just things that I would much rather not think about. People, or one person in particular, I'd rather not be thinking about. Someone who has really treated me very badly, and I'm still quite upset about it. Now, I really do hate to go through these psychological experiences. And I know there's no way to change the past, but the only way to really change your memory, or not change your memory, but change the way you feel. If you don't feel good about the way that your past
That was half of my
was. Oops, Pokemon interrupted me. If you don't feel good about the way your past was in any specific way, I do think the only way to actually feel any better about that and to get any relief from that is to talk about it. But unfortunately, talking about it can lead to even more issues, because the more you talk about specific circumstances involving other people, the more reasons they might feel to try and come and get you or hurt you some more. And I don't want that. I don't want my life to be any kind of battle. Although, from day to day, or from time to time, there are days or moments or times when it feels like a battle. Most of the time, when that happens, I don't like it one bit. If it's serious. Now, a bit of playful banter back and forth is something I really like. But it seems like in certain situations, a bit of playful banter back and forth could be taken the wrong way. And leave someone with some sort of serious sort of vendetta. And I'm not the kind of person who really wants that. I mean, at every point in the process or the progression of relationships that I've been in, I've always tried to be the person that at every stage of the way, any sort of issue that comes up in conversation or in any way, I've always tried to be the person that says, I'm sure there's a way we can fix this. I'm sure there's a way we can improve this situation. And I'm never looking for any kind of conflict whatsoever. But I have learned that I think some people can't handle friendly banter, jokes, and ribbing, and because they take themselves so seriously that they actually walk away from that feeling like personally insulted. And I could understand that now, maybe from a different perspective. But I think there has to be a time and a place for those kind of jokes. And taking the mick out of each other, I don't think it's hurtful or hateful. I mean, it can be hurtful and hateful depending on who does it and how. I'm not sure if I've ever appeared to be doing it in a way that's hurtful or hateful, or if that's been interpreted that way. And I guess that's the thing, is that just because somebody interprets something some way, it doesn't make it correct, nor does it make it incorrect. I'm open to think that I may have done that. Although I don't like to think that I have. So anyway, I'm talking. This won't even make sense to you as a viewer, but I think that's something also I've realised about these videos is if anyone's gonna relate to what I'm saying, it would have to be through a personal lens of maybe what they're going through or things that they've thought about. And they might relate to it in a way that's different to the way I'm thinking about it. But that's also okay. I've actually sort of watched my videos back through the editing process, and then I've actually related to what I'm saying in a different way. And that's actually been fairly enlightening for me to sit and look at myself almost from another person's perspective and to think about myself in a different way. Now, the only issue I have with that is if I know what I meant with the intention of my words originally, I can then see how someone else may interpret them, but also know that wasn't how they were intended. So I don't think it makes the reactions of those who respond to their interpretation fair or warranted or justified, because they're reacting to what they believe the intention is without knowing that they've incorrectly interpreted the intention of those words. You see how complicated this gets? But I have to talk about these things because it's all of these things specifically that create resentments and hatred and fallings out between people. It's misinterpretations of intention. And people maliciously imposing malintent onto into a place where there was none. And that's happened to me several times. Is I've said things that are very well intended and are meant with sort of care for another person, and they've actually been sort of like, people twist your words or whatever. It's been turned into like trying to say I'm saying something hateful or harmful or whatever. It's really a horrible thing that people do. Is certain people I've met, and I really think it's just fueled. It's fueled by a kind of a jealousy. If they're jealous of you, they'll feel this motivation to try to make out that you're something you're not. Because they want to try to sort of harm your popularity. If they realise that you're quite popular amongst people, and people are respond generally quite well to you, and they seem like you're quite liked in a certain community or something. There's people who that inspires jealousy in. And so they'll actually make a concerted effort to try and make out you're not the person you are. And it's because they wish they had what you had, or they wish they were who you were. I've gone through this too many times now. It's really, it's heartbreaking to see the way that someone can actually sort of effectively turn people against you with lies, or they can make their interpretation of what you do in order to turn any positive into a negative. It's something I've been really, truly upset by. And I'm really grateful for people that didn't work on. The people who actually understand it from my point of view. People who could actually see what's happening. The people who understand what's true and what isn't, you know. But I don't know what the solution for this is, apart from I've always just tried to do exactly what Jesus said, which was love your enemies. And I really have tried to give more and more and more and more, and become even kinder and even more caring as a result of the way that, as a response to being treated with the opposite. And there's only so much of that you can do. I mean, Jesus literally, he accepted to be killed. That was how far he took it. I'm not sure I want to do that. I'm not sure I could do that. So I'm not like Jesus. Not at all. I still have very real human concerns for my safety, health, and, continued existence. It's still something I care about enough to get away from people and situations that are negatively impacting me. But I really hope that the people that I'm talking about specifically, I really hope the love gets through to them. And I really do pray for them to be saved from the ways that they've been living and the things that they've been doing. And I wish they could find peace and love themselves. Because if they had that, they wouldn't need to do what they do, or they wouldn't have needed to do what they did. So I think I really need a good friend at the moment. It's been so tricky for me to find friends. Because people are so fickle. I've not yet found like a person who can really stay with you through everything. I mean, there's some people, there's some friends, some people I consider friends who have done a way better job of that than others. But they all have their flaws as well. And it may be true that maybe true that people have experienced that's how I am as a friend. I'm not sure if I have been. It's much harder to see yourself sometimes than it is to see others. Because we literally don't have a lens into our own lives from an outside perspective. I think the closest you can actually get to that is by vlogging what I'm doing. For instance, if I had like a camera, a person with a camera who I just said, okay, just everywhere I go, just follow me and film everything that goes on. I think I may be able to get a more accurate understanding of who I am over time. And I think it's this lack of self-awareness that people have. That makes them continue to justify their own behaviours but condemn those of others. Because you just simply cannot see yourself the way that others do. But you can see others so clearly. And it really is important to develop self-awareness in any way you can. So you can see if you're in any way being a hypocrite, if you're in any way, if there's any truth to what people say to you or about you, you have to see it for yourself. You have to actually be able to consider when you aren't meeting the mark of perfection. So I had a really good day yesterday. Today I'm waking up feeling a bit what's the word? Pensive? Is that a good word? Let me see. Yeah, pensive. I'm feeling pensive this morning. Engaged in, involving, or reflecting deep or serious thought. Yeah, I've woken up and I'm thinking about deep and serious thoughts. That's what I'm doing. I'm pensive. And I'm thinking again about how this video could be as long or as short as it has to be. And I don't do a lot of editing. I put all the clips in the editing software, line them up, then watch it through, then export it, then upload it. That's what I do. And this sort of YouTube video, it's kind of like my TikTok live, except I'm not on TikTok, obviously. Well, I'm on TikTok separately, but I'm talking about right now. This video isn't being broadcast or anything on TikTok, but I'm treating it in almost the same way as TikTok Live, but it's sort of a crossover between TikTok Live and YouTube, or it's sort of halfway between like a live stream and a video, but I'm just recording a video as if it's a live stream, not doing too much in terms of cuts and edits, and not changing anything, just keeping it all raw and then uploading it. So it's just like a very accurate representation of my day. It's not supposed to be glamorous. It's got quiet moments, or it's got parts where not a lot's happening, but that's all part of what happens on a regular basis throughout a day. So it's a real, genuine reflection of life, which is right now the style I'm going for. And things I may change it up at some point to see how long this actual video journey goes on for. I mean, I think it's been close to a couple of weeks so far. I'm not exactly sure how many I've done. I think last time I counted it was 13, so that would make it, I think, a couple of weeks doing a video every day. I did miss one day. But that's okay. Like the aim is for daily. It's not an imperative direction, as nothing is, and I'm only going to do as much as I can, or as much as I feel I want to. So I do feel a lot of these like sort of recurring thoughts of other people's opinions on what it is I'm doing, or what it is that I'm saying, and everything like that. And I've found lots of different ways to actually deal with that and how to process that. I've realised there's an inevitability to it to some degree, and also even in imagining someone else's opinion, it's kind of like, well, I think other people are entitled to their opinions, whether they're given in a way that you like them or not. But you're also very much entitled to your response, and for your having an opinion on the way that they deliver their opinion. So I really think that even if people deliver their opinions in a way that you don't like, then you can always respond by telling them what it is you don't like about it and why, in the hopes that they reconsider the way that they deliver their opinions. I mean, I've quickly realised that in life, not everybody is really striving to be nice or thoughtful or kind or respectful, and not everybody considers carefully other people's feelings and thoughts and opinions quite as much as I do. Whereas I consider those things quite a lot. I also know when to sort of like forcefully reject them. And I do believe there's certain situations when that's absolutely necessary. But it's you know, it is possible to predict your future reactions, but those situations in which you see yourself reacting in the future often don't occur quite in the way that you picture them to. So I've realised that there's limited utility in projecting any kind of future at all, and to think that you actually have a clear vision of exactly what is about to happen at any moment is not only are you incorrect, but you're really setting yourself up for a state of not very pleasant way to feel or think. I mean, I've seen recently some of this like really silly, like immature thinking that you sort of get like a sense of dread of something is going to happen immediately, and then actually believing that it's true for some reason, even if there's nothing to suggest that anything's going to happen or anything is happening at all. And I really find that quite weird. I guess it's paranoid delusions, really. But people who are suffering through paranoid delusions, I'm not sure I know exactly how to best respond to that kind of thing. When someone seems absolutely convinced that like something's about to happen, something terrible or whatever. It's like what do you really say to that? You could say I guess I've usually tried to be quite rational and say, well, look around. Can you see anything? Any threat? Well, no. Okay. Well, so why do you think there's going to be a threat? I just do. It's like people. It's connected to the sort of belief that you know everything or something, which you don't. Obviously, no one does, and you wouldn't want to anyway. But if you actually think that you know everything, that's going to be the only way you actually manage to convince yourself of your paranoid delusions. Because when you have some sort of like fear that appears of thinking something's going to happen, this sense of dread or whatever. When that happens, if you're actually convinced also, like in this egotistical way, that you also know everything that could ever happen and ever will happen, and it's like there's people who literally like, this is how they think of themselves, massively egotistical, but they even have to suffer their own ego, because then when they have this like sense of dread, they're actually convinced that they're onto something when they're not. So I think that's the issue with egotism in general, is it's you have to disbelieve your senses or ignore them, or the ego has to bypass your own senses, because it has to be rooted in delusions of things that aren't happening. If you're just seeing, if you're just hearing, if you're just feeling, if you're just present and aware, then to use a rational thought process would be to explain to yourself, well, nothing is happening now, and if something happens in the future, I'll have to respond to it then. But if you have no reason to believe that anything's going to happen in the future, why would you believe the thought that it is just because you're having a thought? When that happens, if I have a thought of something that might happen, which I don't that often, I just think, well, that's a thought of what might happen, and it doesn't mean it will. It doesn't mean, it could, just like anything could. But I even also think that, because I've thought that, like, that actually, a lot of the time, ends up meaning that that's exactly what isn't going to happen. So I actually assume the proof in the negative, to think, if I've thought something may happen, that probably means that it won't. I guess the counter argument to that way of thinking would be, well, then you're not going to be prepared if something does happen. Now, I don't know what this something is. I keep thinking about, what is this something? So it's very vague and general, and it's not specific, and it's not really realistic, but you can always just respond to what's happening as it's happening, and trust that you're going to do whatever you're going to do. And if you consider that to be a success or a failure, is unimportant, actually, because there is no success, nor is there failure. There's just experiences. If you treat your ideas of what's happening through the lens of deciding whether they are either a success or a failure, then you're far too invested in what is happening, and so you suffer your losses and you celebrate your wins at the expense of other people. Both impact you negatively. You become this dislikable person based on your wins because of how ungraciously you take them. And you suffer a personal misery of your losses as you perceive them to be, which they're not. So just take away the concept of wins and losses when it comes to like situations. There's people literally applying this concept of like a win and a loss to like a conversation that they're having with a friend. How is that either a win or a loss? And why does it have to be either a win or a loss? It's this investment in the ego that is creating that entire way of thinking. Believing that for some reason you need to be better than other people, which you don't. It's a real waste of time and energy even starting to think like that at all. Trying to be better than other people makes you more disliked by other people as a result, because you have no human decency or respect for how they feel or what they're thinking. You're just prioritizing your own thoughts and feelings. Nobody wants to talk to somebody like that. They may do for a very short period of time, because the egotism may appeal to their sense of egotism. It's going to be short-lived. And the reason it's going to be short-lived is because if you're connecting on the level of egotism, eventually it's going to become you versus them, and you're going to want to win again, aren't you? In your own imagination. It's not quantifiable or verifiable that anyone wins, nor that anyone loses. Not when it comes to interpersonal situations. So this whole way of thinking is just really stupid, in my opinion. It doesn't benefit you at all. It certainly doesn't benefit the people that you know. And it just comes to a point where anyone you do actually know, they don't actually like you, they just tolerate you. And maybe they're polite enough or nice enough to you because they want to help you, because they can see the way in which you're actually destroying your own life because of your ego. And that's quite a sad thing to see. That does elicit some sort of empathy from me. But I have no interest in playing these games at all when it comes to trying to compete in a competition that has no rules, and you have already decided that you have won for no reason because you just think of yourself as being the best. Great. You're going to go be the best by yourself. That's all that happens, because no one wants to interact with you anymore. Okay. Oh, gosh. Alright. I'm going to keep drinking some coffees. And just going to carry on the day nice and calm. Nothing too stressful. There we go. So, it looks like I'm not doing much today. It looks like that. But it's not true. Because every day we're doing what we're doing when we're doing it. And for anyone that has anything critical to say, I would say this. You do whatever you do whenever you do it. And that is just exactly the right thing to do. And that is just perfect. So all these people, well, I'm thinking of one specific idiot. People that come out with this criticism, silly stuff, really. With all these ideas of the ways that they have tortured themselves and pressured themselves into doing things that they didn't want to. Yeah, you've given away your control over yourself to a force, a way of thinking, an entity that does not care about how you feel. Why would you possibly give your power away to someone or something that doesn't care about you at all? Just think about that, because you care about you more than anyone else does, arguably. Now, you might meet someone that cares about you more than you do, but it's highly unlikely, because for you living your life, if it's you living your life, then the one that thinks about you and your life more than anyone is you. So, really, what I would like to say is, whatever you do, however much or however little you think that is, it all means nothing. It all means nothing whatsoever. And if there's anyone who is trying to tell you you're not good enough the way you are, disconnect from them. There's no reason to keep communicating with a person who doesn't even see you as being acceptable as you are. Everyone's acceptable as they are. Now, of course, a motivation from people who are around you is sometimes a great thing, especially if you're demotivated. However, pressure from idiotic parents that think they know better, not required. It's not the kind of life I want to live. And the thing is, whether you like it or not, it's my life. So I'm not going to do whatever it is that you think I should do. I'm going to do whatever I think I should do. And I'm not going to let your demonic possession affect me in any way. All I'm going to do is stay away from you. And that's why we don't talk anymore. Because you're a fucking prick, basically. I'd like to go out and about today, but it'd be pretty pointless. I've got some fucking idiot trying to tell me what to do. Not interested in listening to that. So, I'm probably just going to stay here, at least for the present moment. Drink this coffee. Just try and enjoy myself. I mean, I'm not really feeling so good. But I'm not looking for any reasons as to why that is. I don't really care to know, or to think that I know, or to think that I could know, knowing that I cannot know and I do not know. That's what I know, is that I cannot know that. So, yeah, there's lots of places I'd like to go right now if I had the money. I ain't got any money. So, I'm not really sure what to do. I need to figure out more ways to make more money. I mean, I'm thinking basically that this idiot who's trying to tell me what to do needs to shut the fuck up, first of all. And then, secondly, next time I get paid, I'm going to get some books. And I want to get some books all about money and what you can do to make more. I think if I start reading some of those, especially reading them out loud, seems to really help integrate them into my way of thinking. There's some dickhead that I know who just never shuts the fuck up because he's just a fucking prick. And he's always trying to tell me that he thinks he knows the right way to do everything. The guy's a fucking idiot. And I've no interest in listening to what he's got to say. And I'm going to figure it out for myself and not listen to what some fucking retarded, idiotic fucking cunt of a person has to say about how things are. Because as much as they may think they're right, I know they're not. So I don't have to go into this like conversation about why I'm supposed to be doing what I'm told or something, as if this fucking prick of a person thinks that I owe them something, which I most definitely don't, you know. I don't owe anyone anything. Obviously, there's specifics of specific situations where I may owe someone something literally, but if there's been no agreement as to what is owed out in any way, then nothing is owed, is it? So there's no conversation to be had about whatever all that stuff is. It's all the psychopathic, psychological ways in which this person tries to manipulate, and it's all based on this demonic possession that they have going on. And the only people that want to try to control you in some other way are those who are demonically possessed. Why else would you possibly want to control another person? If you're a reasonable, rational, normal, nice person, then you try to help other people, not hinder them. You don't try to tell them what to do. You may offer an open ear to listen, and then if asked for some advice of a kind, then you may provide it. You don't go around offering out advice and thinking that these are imperative commands that somebody else should follow. That's what makes you a fucking prick. That is why you're a prick. That's why I don't like you. That's why people don't like you. Alright, so managed to acquire some friendship and just heading out to meet him now. As you can see, it's pretty much getting dark. However, I think wow, it's 5:13, so it's starting to get a little bit lighter a little bit later, which is really good. And I've got to say, you know what, I was complaining a lot before, obviously feeling quite negative, but coming outside in the freshness of the cold and the vibes and the aura, looking around, it is actually rather quite nice. So I'm glad to be coming out. I'm just gonna go meet up and hang for a bit, and then probably chat and just see where it goes. I'm gonna try and get him to talk a little bit on camera, so that we can sort of add a little bit more dynamism to the video today. So, just meeting them down the road here. I might have to wait for a few minutes, but I'm going to try to get some more shots for the video. So we'll see where it goes. Like I said before, I'm getting real short on money. Only got about £5 left for the next couple of weeks. Got plenty of food, got entertainment, so don't need to worry so much. I've got some bills that I owe out, but that's not unusual. It's been like that for ages. So, but you know, even though I've got no dough, I'm gonna keep having fun anyway. It's not gonna stop me from having a good time, and always got this to talk to, so plenty of good things. Just be appreciative for. As I was just walking along doing my video, some hideously ugly sort of woman was walking past. She saw me videoing and she went, "Weirdo." It's like, I'm not even sure what she's trying to achieve by saying that. Right? I'm not even sure what she's trying to achieve by saying that, or what she thinks. If she thinks she's going to have some sort of like psychological or emotional impact on me by calling me a weirdo, it's quite strange. I mean, I don't really care too much about myself in that situation, but you know, going around saying things like that to someone else who's like not very confident, they could probably get quite upset, you know. And obviously, like, it's a totally unnecessary thing to say to somebody, just like as you walk past them, just going, "Weirdo." You're just exposing yourself as like a horrible person with a lack of understanding. So I mean, that's normally what it's coming down to if someone says something like that. You're basically saying you don't understand the way that person is, how they are, or something. I don't know. And so that which you don't understand, you label as like weird or sort of abnormal, and you're thinking that you're like normal, right? All that's saying is that you don't understand the way that person is. Oh, you caught me halfway through a video. Right.
Hello.
How's it going? You want to say hello?
I'm fire in the disco, baby. West Side.
I was basically just explaining how I was just walking along down there and videoing, and I walked past this man and this woman, and the woman went, "Weirdo," and I was like,
Where?
"What? If she thinks that's gonna make me sort of like stop doing this, she's massively underestimated her power, you know." I'm not going to stop doing this video
Yeah, and
just
you're-
because someone
you're
called me a
always-
weirdo. I really don't care.
They always whisper it, don't they? Because they're too scared to actually say it to your face.
Oh, she said it just quietly. Yeah. But I don't know. It's like what a waste of energy on her part. Like what does she think I'm going to do? Like burst out crying and go, oh no, I need to rethink my entire life. This woman is right, you know. And if that's what she wants, then she's not very nice, is she? You know what I mean? You're trying to inflict psychological or emotional distress on somebody. You're hardly the one that should be listened to as like a point of authority, you know. You're hardly someone that should be looked up to or respected.
You know, it's funny you should say that because in a minute, well, I've got this, my dad, my sister, and Elaine is at my house. My sister and Elaine have cars, and they come and park up on the front of our house and walk into our house. And one of the neighbours left a note on the car saying, "If you don't live here, don't park in front of our house." And it's like, well, you don't own the fucking road, first of all, and they can park wherever they want. You know, we have to deal with people parking on the road, so do you. You know what I mean? There's just some people, man, they're just fucking...
I'm not sure how to respond to that one. I don't have a car. I've never parked anywhere in my life. So, it's hard to relate on that one.
But, you know, people always, like, get upset. They get really butthurt about things that they think they have control over. And they're always like, oh, you can't do that because we don't want you to. But it's like, well, I can do that, and I don't give a shit.
I really think, like, why do you need an opinion anyway? You know, just do what you need to do. You don't need to really share your thoughts with anyone. You definitely don't need to share your thoughts with everyone. That's what the people that bother me do, is they share their most random thoughts with just other people just on the street, like as they walk past. They'll just like say like a word at you, and there's loads of different words they go for, but they'll just say like one word. You think, what are you actually doing? You know what I mean? What is it they're trying to achieve? It's some kind of like attempt at regaining a sense of like control over their own selves by trying to like create the idea of someone different in another person, which no one's really that different from you. No one's that really that different from me. It's like everyone has a lot of shared qualities and ways in which we're exactly the same, and if you focus on that, it seems like everything's alright, because you think, well, I understand people understand me, we're all so similar. It's only when you really start to see yourself as being any different from anyone else, or you start to see someone from being different from you, that creates the thought of a difference in your mind, and that's where all of that kind of behaviour starts. But to me, it's like someone's just, I just see it as someone they're just having their moment, and it means no insult to me. It just shows a reflection of how they feel, and they don't feel so good. So that's all I think about. If anything, it makes me feel a bit sorry for them. You got to walk around just saying words at people for no reason. It's odd behaviour. Anyway, so
Was she with a fella?
we just bumped into each other. Huh?
Was this woman on her own?
She was with a guy.
You should have said, feel sorry for you, man. Having to put up with that all the time.
I mean, I didn't say anything to her. I've said everything I wanted to say to the camera, but I don't know. I guess that I'm going to come across this as people going to think that they want me to stop doing my video, even if it's not impacting them at all. But it's all just a bunch of jealousy. If people feel they have nothing in their own lives, they see someone who's got something they care about in their life, and they wish they had that. But instead of trying to find a way to get that, they just instead try to bring down that person for having something that they want, which is just the wrong way to do it. You're not trying to make yourself happy in the way they are. You're trying to make both of you unhappy. Just think about that. If you're actually doing that as a person, you're thinking to yourself, I'm unhappy, that person's happy. Instead of going, I want to make us both happy, you're saying, I want to make us both unhappy. So that's the end result. If you actually win with your jealousy, you're making both of you unhappy. Is that what you want? Alright. What are you getting? I'll come in, I'll cut, okay? Cut. Okay, so we just went to the shop. He got some beers.
They're a quid each.
They're a quid each. And I made a really shitty joke about Harry Potter. It wasn't funny, but someone laughed, so maybe it was funny. Lewis just spat his beer out. Why'd you spit your beer out? Because you laughed.
He said it was shitty, but it was actually not. It was really good.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. He thought it was a good joke. I didn't think it was very good. I thought it needs work. Anyway, so we're just walking now, and I don't really know what we're doing. What are we doing?
Drinking these cans, baby.
Just drinking these cans, baby.
The Edward Cannons.
Edward Canhans.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I'm going to video of this. Maybe not a lot. What do you think, Lewis? Are you okay with the video or not?
Am I okay with the video?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the video.
Yeah, but how long can this go on for, really?
How long can this go on for?
I don't know. I might just cut the video and just enjoy life, not on video. But I do like having the video every day, so I don't know. What do you think about the video? Do you like the video?
Do I like the video?
Yeah.
I like the video.
Oh, he likes it. Okay. Fair enough. It's interesting to find out. It's kind of it's way more normal now for this kind of thing, and you because I think since TikTok Live came out, there's loads of people that are just walking about, just videoing everything. And I've not really seen many of them, like IRL, but I've seen loads of them on TikTok, so they're obviously out there. But I guess walking around where I live, I'm not seeing people that are like walking about doing the TikTok Live. But to be fair, it's the kind of thing that appeals to me, because, well, me and him, this is Lewis, me and Lewis, we just walk about all the time anyway. And this is like walking about plus connecting to however many people are out there who want to sort of join in. I think that's kind of awesome. What do you think? Have you been on TikTok Live?
I've never been on it, no. But
No.
I agree, like, I think we should, you know, share the party. You know.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know what you're trying to say. It's like we're sort of just doing this, just having a good time, and I see all these other people. One of my favourite guys is I'm not sure what his name is. I don't think he ever shows his face, but he just walks around London basically, and he goes to different places in London, and then loads of people comment on his TikTok Live, and he just says hello to everybody. I think a lot of time that's what people want on TikTok Live, is they just want you to say their name. Like, I guess that's what I want sometimes. If I see like a TikToker, they got loads of followers or whatever, and I just say, type a comment says hello, and then if they go, James, hello, how's it going? Then I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like you've broken down the barrier from like the internet to real life. It's like you can't do that on a YouTube video. There's no one to respond to you, and just the fact that it's live and that someone will actually talk to you back, it's kind of awesome. So I kind of like it. I got quite addicted to TikTok for a while. I was watching it all the time, and then very quickly I managed to get onto TikTok Live. You have to earn a certain amount of subscribers or something, or you have to get a certain amount of followers, and then you can go live on TikTok, Lewis. So there was ages where I was posting videos trying to get more followers, so that I could go live. And then when I finally got the ability to go live, I'm not sure if I can go live on TikTok. I don't think I can. I think I can only do it on my phone.
You need the internet.
Yeah, it needs to be on the internet. But obviously, like, I've got mobile internet on my phone. That's data, that's roaming data, and it's pretty reliable. Like, I can walk around just listening to stuff via the internet, and the connection stays pretty good. It will go off occasionally, but not very often. You know, apparently there's going to be this new internet called Starlink, which is going to be like super reliable. Alright, there's going to be Starlink is going to come out, which is made by Elon Musk, and it's going to be like super reliable high-speed internet. So you can pretty much go literally anywhere, and you will always have an internet connection that's super high speed, and it'll basically never cut out. Even right now, there's places where, say in America, you go drive out into the desert somewhere, and there's no internet at all, and there's no way to connect the internet at all. So I think they're fixing things like that, so you could go anywhere on the planet and you've always got an internet connection. Sounds like a good idea to me, but there's always gonna be things that go wrong.
Yeah, because it also gives the kids and all the like tribes in Africa.
Yeah.
They don't have water, they don't have clean water, but they've got the internet.
Well, Mr. Beast has fixed that. Everyone's got clean water now thanks to Team Water.
Yeah, but it didn't work, did it?
Well, did you see how much money they raised?
Yeah, but then we put all the wells in, and then they all went like desolate. They all stopped working.
I doubt they've managed to put all the wells in yet, because they've only just got the money not long ago. It was only a couple of months ago that.
It's fucking like 4 years ago.
What, when he did Team Water and did all the live streams?
Yeah.
That was like a few months ago.
It was literally like 4 years ago.
It wasn't. Okay, we'll settle this. I'm gonna find out. Okay, in this, by the way. I was just getting a shot of the road name. Willow Road. Now we got nice little Carlsberg. First one. A little bit of inebriation, a little bit of intoxication. It's not always a bad thing. It's good for the soul, good for the spirit, good for the body, good for the mind. Just to relax. Relax your ass. Relax your ass, motherfucker. I can talk like this because there's a guy with dreads there.
I'm an Indian woman.
Okay.
I'm carrying stuff on my face.
He's trying to play the fool for the camera. Look, we're trying to keep this professional, mate. I don't know what you're doing, messing about. Yeah? I'm trying to make a professional video here, and you're just there fucking pissing about with a skateboard.
I'm an African woman.
Fucking grow up, mate. Grow up.
I carry water on my head.
What, are you 12 years old?
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, we're just in this industrial estate, and we're just having a nice little walk about. There's no one around. It's just quiet, peaceful. It's Sunday night, so a walk and a talk, and a stroll, and a Carlsberg, a can of Carlsberg, or 2, or 3, or 4. Okay, it goes on and on. Anyway, keep you updated. Alright, so just got in. that's it. Night's over, really. You know what? It's been good. Started off the day with a lot of complaints. Feeling upset. Honestly. And it was all because whatever dreams I was having last night, got me in that way when I woke up. Like I said earlier, feeling pensive, thinking deep thoughts. But it was all the disturbance of that unsettledness that I was feeling. At one point in time, even though it was years ago, it all just rose up, and was just chewing on that for a bit. But you know what? The day progressed on, and even though it's Sunday, it turned out being all right. You know, just ended up getting lost in conversations about all sorts of rubbish and not rubbish, and you know, this and that, and reminding myself that it's not all about me. You know, life. And I think that often it's that I, as an individual, and we all as an individual, are there to a large part just to be there for others in whatever way we can. And following our selfish ideals and wants it's not even going to help us anyway. So anyway, that's what I've been thinking about. So yeah, I've been out and about, just got back in the house, and now I'm going to stop being so preachy and just going to show you what's going on, because that's what these vlogs are all about. Although it's good for me to vent off whatever I'm feeling to the camera, I also just want to keep it fun and light-hearted and pleasant for everybody. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is what I'm making right now. I've got a Frey Bentos steak and kidney. Just got in the oven, sat there. That's going to take around 30 minutes for that to cook. Cook. I'm using the Stokian way of saying it. That's the way I've heard Eddie Hall say it. He says kook. Which reminds me of the Kooks. You remember that band, the Kooks? Yeah, they weren't half bad. I actually listened to them a little bit. So, yeah. Nice quiet evening. I managed to get more footage than usual today from my sort of hanging out with the pals. Although it was just Lewis and I that you saw on the footage earlier. That ended up progressing into meeting up with some other people, but got so absorbed in all the conversations and everything that I didn't even think of asking them to record any of it, because they're not really people that I even know quite as well, to the point where I would want to get some video of us and stuff. You know, like me and Lewis are good friends. I've known him for quite a long time. So he's happy to try being on cam. I've talked to him about it a bunch of times. So that's it. So I'm hoping to get more and more footage of sort of things like that, you know, more of what I'm actually doing instead of just getting bits and pieces of what I can during the day. I'm going to try and just keep extending that bracket of what I can get and hopefully broadening that further and further. And that should make for a more interesting video. And it should give me the ability to capture more and more of what's actually going on IRL. So I think that's going to be it for the day. It's 10:26. I got a pie cooking, and I've got to now get this on the computer and start piecing this together. So I've got to do the edit, and I hope you guys have a good evening, or a good morning, or a good afternoon, or whatever it is you're doing, wherever you are. Hope you're all good, and I wish you the best. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Ciao for now.